All right, so we are now officially recording. I will mute everyone and you guys can unmute yourselves as needed. So I know that the Powells asked that I hop on the Zoom and answer questions. Mr. Powell, I see you're on. Can you give us a little intro of what to expect from the live? Uh-oh. There you go. Oops.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So again, with this live is because we already know, well, we don't already know, but it is evident and apparent from the last convention that we have been missing a vital element from our business, which is online. Each of us, we know what online does, but we are not really active participants of it. And if we're going to participate and if we're going to compete on a high level, then we need to know what online is and what are the nuances of it and what are the compliance issues. So we know, Lavonda, that you have become an expert in online marketing. You are in compliance. Mr. Bradley has endorsed you for what you do, and so we had a meeting of the minds of
Uh-oh. Did he get stuck on us? Did I freeze? Oh, okay. It's Mr. Powell. Okay. So I get what he's saying. Okay, good. Yes,
face
so
to face is online as
okay.
well. So the floor is yours, Lavonda.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Powell, and for everyone that's on. So most of you I already know, which is really good for us and knowing what our journey has been like. And you guys have witnessed my journey as well. So most of you may or may not know that I became a director in Planet Marketing thanks to Facebook marketing. I went from 1 star to 2 star thanks to online marketing, and from 2 star to 3 star thanks to online marketing. I did not come to the business with a wealth of network marketing experience, so I had to figure out a way of how can I reach the masses. One of the things, you all know Mr. Bradley was not open to online marketing in the beginning, so it's very challenging. However, he saw the duplication inside of my organization. Every director I have was thanks to online marketing. We have a very stable business. Our attrition is not ridiculous. In fact, my attrition is way better online marketing than it was as we were focused more on starting to build belly to belly. So for you guys, we'll have a high level conversation because it's really a lot of strategy and psychology behind online marketing. Most people work the business part-time. So what makes it attractive for people to partner with the online marketer is the fact that it appears to be convenient. And it is, because we're working from our cell phones. We're working from our jobs for those who have jobs. We're working from vacation, from our children's football and basketball practices. Our business go wherever we go, and that's what they like. As far as us as directors, it is very convenient for us to reach our teams. And so with that, I want to thank Walter and Tiffany for they helped me implement network marketing to online marketing. One of the things that I did not have starting out was a page for my team. Natalie Graham and I, we are very, very close. And our numbers were really close in the beginning. And I became more coachable, if you will, and start shying away from online marketing, even though I knew what was working. She did not, right? So we left the first convention both as 1 stars. At the next convention, she was a 3 star getting a 6-figure ring, and my business was slow. So there were things that she and I would talk about, like going live in your own personal group. I actually go live more in my group to my team than I do publicly. What this does is it creates that synergy. It makes you seem more accessible to your organization just from you going live on a Facebook video inside of your own personal group. We do a lot of challenges online. So we'll challenge people to go out and make more friends. We will challenge people to get more folks on an opportunity call or webinar. Which brings me to another topic. The way that online marketing works for my organization, we're all promoting to the same events. So that could be a noon call, opportunity call, or a webinar. When you have something under your own voice, your team is more excited to share it. So a lot of times people are asking if they can plug into things that I have. Of course they can, but I think it's more effective when you, the director, have your own call and your own webinar. Because then when people are edifying the opportunity call or webinar, they're edifying you as a leader. Hey, Pastor Fern is doing this amazing webinar for us tonight. We're promoting all the goal builders, getting their team members on. And now they know that once they join the business, they have direct access to you. So that's something that we do. And we blitz a lot. So a lot of webinars and things that I do, I don't promote publicly, but my team have access to. So they're out there promoting in groups. So when we talk about groups on Facebook, I do a lot on Facebook, y'all, because everybody's on Facebook already. So when we're out in groups, we're friending people. I teach my team not to post a lot of flyers because everybody is doing that already. Everybody is posting flyers to come to weekly meeting. Everybody is posting flyers to hop on a call or get on a webinar. So what we do, or they're saying, join my team. That's not attractive to people. What we do is teach people how to build relationships online. So as you're going out and you're friending folks, you're getting to know them as you would somebody you would meet face to face. I mean, I would hope in a grocery store, you don't walk up to somebody and say, hey, I own my own travel business, join my team. You can make a whole lot of money. We got residual income. No, it's a process. So we do the exact same thing virtually, and that's how we have such strong, solid relationships. So all of what you guys know way better than I do, how to form, how to build rapport, and all of those things offline, we do the exact same thing online. So what I train the team to do is go into Facebook groups where they share a common interest. For instance, I'm in groups, in a lot of mommy groups, and I'm in a lot of homeschool groups. I'm in football mom groups because those are interests that I have and I can relate to those individuals. And so you want to be a real person in those groups. You're liking their post, you're commenting on their post, and in return, what they're going to do is go to your Facebook page and check it out. They want to know, who is this Jay Stewart guy? Who is Nate Newman? Who are these people that's liking all my posts and commenting? When they go to your page, you don't need to look like a network marketer. So a lot of us online marketers, you'll never see us posting a lot of hotel meetings or pictures of us in suits and, different things like that, because that's the stigma that people run from when it comes to network marketing. So a lot of people, when they hear network marketing or if they see anything like it, they're going to try to put us in the same category as some of these other companies that have burned them. So we stay away from, looking too much like a marketer and looking more like an everyday person or the people that we really are. Y'all know we're not wearing suits and makeup every day anyway. And so we want them to see us spending time with our children, our families. We want them to see us living a life, because if we only post business stuff, they're going to run from it, because now this business is going to be like another job that's going to consume their life. So you want to make sure that your Facebook personal pages are really showing your lifestyle, showing if you are coaching your team, have a picture of y'all out to eat coaching. Have a picture of you sitting by your pool with your laptop. Take a picture and say, this is what my work actually looks like. If you are traveling for work, if you are about to do some type of meeting with your hotel, some things that are really attractive to people is before you go to a hotel meeting, take a picture of what you look like sitting on your couch with your laptop, and then have a side-by-side picture of what you look like going to your hotel meeting that night. Let people know that, I only work my business a couple hours a day. I'm a top income earner and I'm helping other people. So a lot of what we do is sharing our story more often. When we're going live on Facebook, you're talking to people that don't know you. Oftentimes people make the mistake of thinking that they're only talking to people that are already following them and people that know them. So Walter and Tiffany, I've been challenging them. They're doing a great job. I know Walter is, really sharing his story, because people that don't even know who you are the ones that's going to watch your videos the most. Right. And so when you're doing a live video, some things that people make the mistake of doing is waiting for people to hop on the video. They'll say things like, hey, I'm waiting to see who else is going to hop on. Remember, you're always doing a video for people that's going to watch the replay. Way more people will watch the replay. If you spend too much time waiting for people to get on your live and you're not going to delete it, people won't watch it because it's boring. So you don't want to have any dead space. You can say things like, hey, where are you tuning in from? Hey, how's your day? How are you guys doing today? And in the meantime, that's you just stalling for time for more people to come on. So when going live, you always want to tell your story. It could be a brief story if you know that you're not going to share your full story on your live. And it's something as simple as, hey guys, for those of you who may not know who I am, and then go into your introduction, right? Then after you tell your story, you want to give a message. So, the successful online marketer's message is usually about entrepreneurship. It's about something that may have happened with somebody on your team or in your personal life. It could be a motivational message. It could be, an educational message. The advantage that we have being in the travel industry is most people want to learn about what we have. And so we take advantage of learning different things. A lot of my ideas I get right from the IntelliTravel website. You go to IntelliTravel website, they have all kinds of information on there that you can elaborate on, how we're more than just a website, how we're paid the top paying commissions in the industry, different things like that. I'll talk about IntelliTravel and Planet Marketing, and I'll never say their name. I'll never say IntelliTravel. I'll never say Planet Marketing. That will force more people to get back to you. That'll force them to say, well, what company are you with? Who are you with? And that's what you actually want. If you give too much information, they're going to go and do their own research. You'll never hear from them again, or they'll go sign up with somebody else that they find. After your message, you have to have a call to action. So if you tell your story, if you share a message, you get off live, people don't know what to do. So you got to let them know that, hey, the reason I'm sharing this information with you is because I actually coach and train other people on how they can also do what I do. So if this is something that interests you, if you want to learn more, inbox me right now. Or you can say comment below. I like to tell people to message me, because then you'll get too many comments and you might miss someone. So you can tell them, hey, send me an inbox message right now. For those of us who are directors, a lot of your team members will share you. They're helping you become more popular. So a lot of times on my videos, I'll say, hey, the person who's sharing this video, more than likely there's someone that's on my team or they're in the same exact project that I'm in. Get back with that person. And that way, that's keeping the integrity of what you have going on and getting the message out. So always remember, share your story, deliver a message, and have a call to action every time you go live. I challenged Jay Stewart, the first live video he ever did, he signed somebody up. Every time I go live, I sign people up. So most people think that you going live is just about you on your page. You want to take that live video from your page and go share it in Facebook groups. A lot of people aren't doing that. All they're doing is sharing different like flyers and talking about joining me and different things like opportunity meetings and stuff like that. You want to follow the rules of the group, of course. And if you're unsure of the rules, ask who the admins are and then share your live video. And I like to share the videos that are not about the business, just a message. I'm a full-time work from home mom. This wasn't always my story. I get to enjoy times at the playground with my children. When I remember in corporate America, I would be wondering what my children were doing throughout the day. So just saying things like that, people will reach out and say, hey, what kind of business do you have? What exactly do you do through your home-based business? And so that's pretty much it. I mean, in a nutshell, as far as my team, the reason I got so much duplication is because I actually use that director's report to my advantage, y'all. You can export the genealogy report and filter it by number. So every day I'm posting who's one away from bronze. That seems like a lot, right? But all you have to do is copy and paste all the names who have 2 ITAs, personally sponsored, posted in the group. Everybody that's one away from silver, I post it every single day. People who are one away from gold builder, I post it every day and challenging and asking who's next, who's next. People who are already gold builder, I'll do a picture collage of them and count them down to 2020 club. Now we got a lot of 2020 clubs. So now I have the 2020 club members' pictures, counting them down to how many more they have until they are a director in training. And then with the directors in training, we count them down to directorship. So just like y'all know how we want to get our names off of Mr. Bradley's list, off of that top 1-star, top 2-star, top 3-star list, that's how your team members want to do as far as coming off of the bronze, silver, and gold builder list. So that's how we're driving the momentum in our organization, is we're identifying everybody who's getting to their next levels. So I know that's a lot of information. Some of you have been playing around with online marketing, so I'll just take time now to ask if any of you guys have any questions.
Lavonda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for giving Walter kudos and not me, but I'm going to do my Facebook Live real soon. But let me ask you this, and I think this is a question that everybody wants to know. Do you use vouchers, and do you recommend vouchers?
Yes, I recommend vouchers. I know initially James Ferrara told us that we could. And I think what happened, Mr. Bradley, was not, some people were misusing the vacation vouchers. So what we do is we will use them as like a thank you for participating. We'll do random prize giveaways so that then it don't look like enticement. But just like the timeshare presentation concept, where the timeshare presentations, they use those vouchers knowing that that's not the real incentive. The bonus is for people to have access to the timeshare. So what we do is we use them as, a way, like if you pay attention to marketing efforts of billion-dollar companies, they're always saying, we're going to give you a 10% off just for registering. Or we got a free prize for the first 5 people that do this and that, knowing that they'll get thousands of people hoping that they're the first 5, but now you have all of the exposure. So I do recommend that because it helps separate you from other people. Once people get the information, I mean, I check the numbers of like redemptions and things like that. People don't care about the voucher by the time they find out they have access to the entire travel industry. So we have people that get the information, they're like, wow, I'm ready to become a travel agent. They have the information. I don't make it about the voucher. I always say that we don't sell vouchers. This isn't something offered by the company. This is something that we're offering. It's a like a limited time offer, something like that. But I'll tell them this is not a free vacation. There is a low cost redemption fee. This is just our thank you from us to you for your time. But you're definitely going to, and then I'll go right back into edifying their decision to own their own travel business. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am, I got it.
Okay, awesome. Any other questions?
I do. I have a quick question.
Yes, ma'am.
When you're encouraging your team to go into the groups and, to communicate, I know that I've gotten kicked out once. One time I got kicked out of a group. But so when you're encouraging them to go in and communicate and, like and share and all, what do's and don'ts are you giving them? I know that each group has its own rules, if you will, but what do's and don'ts, what are you talking to them about to make it more so that they're having a greater success rate of really getting a person to connect with them?
So I tell my team when they get in a group, they need to take a tour of the group. They need to get an understanding of the culture of the group, because sometimes it'll say, hey, absolutely no promoting or marketing or advertising. And those are the groups that we get the most recruits from. And we never promote and advertise. And that's why it's important for you to be in groups where you share a common interest, right? So I'm in a lot of mommy groups, like my post this morning of Josiah holding my nephew. So a lot of those followers I have on my page come from mommy groups. And so I'll post, like today I posted in one of the mommy groups, I'm looking for a babysitter right now. I had a 16-year-old boy contact me about babysitting my children. So I was like, hey, mommies, how do you guys feel about boy babysitters or male babysitters? Now, I paid attention to the followers on my page. They had nothing to do with travel, but I got more followers just from me asking a question in that mommy group. So I'll teach the team, like, whatever, if you see a whole bunch of people posting flyers in that group, never, ever, ever post a flyer. Even if it's a group that says, yes, you can promote and market and advertise, only post a selfie. And it don't even have to be a selfie of you traveling. It could be a selfie of you, like how we just saw Mr. Powell driving. Car selfies are, I don't know what it is about them, but people love car selfies. It's so weird. So you could be take a car selfie and introduce yourself. Hey, I'm brand new to this group. What I do is I actually own my own travel business, and I help coach and train others how they too can travel more, save more, and earn additional income owning their own travel agency. And so I drive that to my team. I have a goal builder. She is a part of a women's veteran group. And so they're very strict in that group as well. We have people that are a part of fishing groups, RV camper groups, things like that. So I always coach the team to be in groups where they share a common interest.
Thank you.
Okay.
Lavonda, can you hear me? This is
Yes.
Conda Seasway.
I can hear you.
Well, this is very exciting because it made perfect sense to this, whatever I am, not a millennial, that's for sure. So thank you. A question for you. I can see how easily and how attractive it is for people to go for travel, an ITA, travel ownership. How are you meshing owning Planet Marketing is once they get past the point where they're learning about your business?
That is a good question. So clearly, myself, Felicia Miles, Latasha Alexander, Natalie, we all lead with travel. But we also have a ton of builders because we complicate the Planet Marketing side of the business, which makes it seem like network marketing, which turns people off. So the way that I teach my team is we share a 4-minute IntelliTravel video. When we get on a 3-way call, we say, hey, if you know other people who also like to travel for just the extra $19.95, you can earn extra weekly income, overrides, and residual income.
If we could ask everybody to mute their lines, hit *6.
You have the opportunity to welcome other travel agents as well. And ironically, people say, I want to add the Planet Marketing. I want Planet Marketing. I want to add it more than it was when we were breaking down the whole compensation plan. Now, for those people that say, hey, I'm familiar with network marketing, I would like more information about your compensation plan, then we send them a compensation plan video.
Okay, so which video, IntelliTravel video, you're talking about, that promo video?
Yeah, the promo video. I actually created a video. It's a 4.5-minute video where it's James Ferrara talks about the reasons why you should be a travel agent, and it goes right into the 2-minute promo video. I can send you the link to that one as well. But that 2-minute video is perfect because it's a high-level overview. If people don't make a decision from after being on a 3-way call from watching that video, then we invite them to a webinar, which, of course, the webinar has more detail. Video that I absolutely do not use, that Mr. Bradley, no, I don't use, I call it a business killer, is the 9-minute video. The 9-minute video is not a good video to use for online marketing because it's so robotic. It's not relatable, and it sounds and look like network marketing. And even though network marketing is what we do, it's just the stigma that people have with, oh, this is just one of those, types of businesses. It's so heavy on the recruiting side, and it doesn't really highlight what needs to be highlighted for travel. So the IntelliTravel promo video helps. And then we just tell them, hey, do you know other people who also like to travel? Or if you're looking to earn weekly income for just $19.95, you can add the marketing side of the business.
Okay, one last question. You may not know numbers per se, but roughly how your online marketing, would you say it's heavily skewed toward ITAs or 50-50, or do you have an idea with the approach that you're using?
Yeah, it's heavily toward travel because that's what's most attractive to people. Okay. Yeah, I go straight in travel. And I built the brand so strong. People think I book a lot of travel, and I don't book travel at all. But that's the benefit, and that's the bonus of the marketing side of the business. And we've had, my strongest builders are travel bookers. And they come in, they're strong in a product, and they build a business. And people are attracted to the travel because they feel like you can teach them something, and it's an instant gratification. Most people have to get over their fear of recruiting. They're not familiar with residual income. They're not familiar with our industry. And so there's a bigger learning curve. So saying that, hey, if you partner in as an IntelliTravel agent, you can always add the Planet Marketing side. And when they get into our groups and they start seeing every day we're welcoming people to the team, every day we're having promotions. So now they're asking, how do I do that? How can I, add people to the team? We have people signing up in Planet Marketing after being an agent for a year, just because they see it's just a simple conversation to have.
Thank you.
Hey, LaVonda Tadaria, how are you, sweetie?
Hey, I'm good.
Hey, Precious. Thank you so much for your time tonight. We really, really appreciate you so much.
You're welcome.
Take me through, and I may have missed something, but if you will take me through, like, signing up with a group, and then, you know, the different Facebook groups, and then being able to expose the individuals that you want to share the opportunity with the video, what would that look like from start to finish? Can you take me through that quickly?
You want me to explain it to you or show you?
Show, well, you can take me through it, or you can act like I'm your prospect or the person that you're sharing the information with on a group.
Oh, okay. So let's say that I posted in a group, which is really good for your local, if you're trying to build your local market and get people offline. I'll go in a group and I'll say, hey, how many people in this group live in Houston, Texas? And let's say that Adaria says, I do, then I will go through each comment on that post. I'll like it. And then I will say, check your inbox. I will go in your inbox and I will personally introduce myself. Hey, Adaria, and you always want to personalize the messages that you send on Facebook so they know that you're not spamming people. If you copy and paste a whole bunch of messages, you're going to jail, right? So I'll say, hey, Adaria, I saw that you're also in Houston. I own my own travel business, and what I do is I coach and train others who love to travel, how they can save more money, travel more, and add extra income by owning their own travel business. Would that be something that you're interested in? And so from there, you'll say, yeah, sure, of course, or whatever it may be. I'll say, perfect. What's the best time and number to reach you? Like when somebody tell me they're interested, I want to take them off the computer, even if I'm getting their phone number, just to text them a video. But I like to get their number before I send them something. That way I have contact information to follow up with. And so then you say, hey, yeah, call me anytime after 5, any day of the week. Here's my phone number. So now I call you and I'll say, hey, Adaria, this is LaVonda. We met in the Facebook group, How to Build Your Business. And I just wanted you to hear my voice. I'm going to send you a brief video overview about our travel business, and I'll call you back in about 5 minutes to get your questions answered. So no one ever says no, thank you, no, or any of that, because it's just a quick, like literally 30-second phone call. So I text you the IntelliTravel video. Now I'm calling you back, but it's a 3-way call. And what we do on my team with our 3-ways is we already have the leader on the phone as we're calling the prospect. Because for the veterans that are comfortable edifying and then getting the leader on the phone, that's fine. But for the most part, most people are terrified of that transition from I got the prospect, now I need to call a leader. So we're already on the phone, and I'll say, hey, Adaria, I'm just following up with you. Did you get a chance to watch that video? And you say, yeah, I got a chance to watch it. Perfect. What did you like best? You tell me what you like best. I'm going to say, well, I'm glad you love the travel side. I actually got a chance to talk to my personal coach, Miss Tiffany Powell. She said she had a few minutes available to help me get your questions answered. She's a top income earner. You know, I go into the edification, introduce Adaria. Here you go, guys. I'm putting my phone on mute, and now there's a 3-way. So our closing time happens very, very quickly. When we, if I have the team in groups promoting for a webinar, they get that phone number, what's the best time and number to reach you. They get the information, and then they're going to turn around and say, hey, by the way, what are you doing tonight around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time? And they'll say nothing or whatever, you know. Oh, perfect. Well, we're actually having a detailed webinar overview of the travel business. Do you think you can hop on tonight? They'll say, yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, I'm going to send you the flyer. Just remember that my sponsor ID is Travel Queen. They're going to ask you for my sponsor ID, Travel Queen, on the webinar. When I do webinars, we give the information and we teach them how to go sign up immediately. So that's the call to action. So what it has done, it takes away from them saying, you know how we normally close saying, hey, get back to the person who invited you, get your questions answered or get started. So on the webinars, when I say, listen, we have your 1, 2, or 3. If you're number 2, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We'll get your questions answered tonight. If you're number one, it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. You'll need to reference your sponsor ID, and we give them the enrollment instructions on the webinar. So literally, while we're still on the webinar answering people questions, people are in our group welcoming people to the team. I'm even getting notifications on my phone saying you've sold an ITA. So it closes the gap and it decreases the three-way calls, because most people after a webinar are ready to sign up. They don't have questions. It's detailed enough to where they're saying, you know what, I'm ready to do this now. And we were getting a return like that even without offering a vacation voucher.
Excellent. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I think that was a looming question for all of us on the Zoom tonight. And I just really appreciate you breaking that down for me from A to Z. I feel very empowered by the information you shared. So I just want to thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
I'm feeling like I'm ready to go.
Yes, it's the same thing, y'all. Like, and for most of you, you have corporate experience, you have the business experience. So it's a system. It took me a long time to prove it to Mr. Bradley, but we definitely have a system and it works, and it can be duplicated by people that come into the business brand spanking new, as long as you have something for them to invite people to. It's powerful. So if you have a phone call, we did blitz calls where we would challenge people on a call. And in my group, I would say, hey, who's inviting to the call? That way I'll know who to shout out on the call. On the webinars, here's the psychology part that you guys will understand as directors. On the builder slide, I would have a bronze builder that's one away from silver. I would have a silver builder that's one away from gold. And I would have a gold builder that's close to hitting 2020 share a brief testimony on the webinar. So now it's giving everybody that push to get to the next level so they can be highlighted on one of our webinars. So now I'm not the only voice that's heard. The listeners get a chance to hear from a non-director, a non-top builder. They get to hear from people that only have 3 people, they only have 6 people. And so it's just a powerful way that it helps, because they're getting testimonies. And y'all know my background is in marketing and business development. So that's a key component when you're selling a business online, is having testimonies from people outside of, the top leaders and people who seeing the huge levels of success.
Absolutely. So one last thing for me. So when you say you get them to the point where you're actually sharing a video or a presentation with them, now, are you doing the entire presentation at that point, or are you still just focused on travel?
You mean as far as sharing the video when they say
No. When you get them actually on where you're doing testimonials and all that, is that a full-fledged presentation?
Oh yeah, that's
okay,
a full-fledged
very good
presentation, definitely.
Okay. All right.
I'll get a travel booker to give a testimony on the compensation slide of the presentation, and that's just to we put so much influence, or we highlight the Planet Marketing reps so much. So with the travel bookers, I try to include them on our presentation, even if it's just for a testimony. And I'll bring them on a commission slide just to give a testimony of a trip that they've booked as a travel agent. Then on the builder slide, that's the Planet Marketing side of the business. We bring the bronze, silver, gold builders on. And then a director slide, we have, director testimonies, and they're brief testimonies, like literally 30 seconds.
Very good. Very good. Do you do the entire presentation, LaVonda, or do you allow your other directors to chime in on that?
So most of the time, myself and Kyra Harris will do the presentation, depending on how many. So our webinars, we get over 300 people on the webinars. And so that freaks out my leaders. So if I know that it's going to be one of those webinars that was heavily promoted, I'll do the whole presentation knowing that I'm going to get a break throughout the presentation with the testimonies.
I had to bring my screen back. Did you say 300 people?
300. 300.
I'm like 300 people. You're so weird.
300 or 30 or 3. I'm like,
She said 300. She said 300.
okay,
Like 300 people on y'all webinar. Lavonda, you ain't tell me that.
Yes, you probably didn't hear me. Yes, that's how, you know, we were signing up 80 to 100 people a week. You know, we had 300 plus people on those webinars.
Oh my God.
It's because the whole team is promoting. And what I do, the more money I make,
300 plus people on those webinars about just joining the groups. Is that right?
yeah, that's what they're doing. They're promoting from the group. So everybody will commit to inviting 25 to 50 people to the webinar.
So should we do like a group together, all of us? So if we get in a group together and build that group, would that make sense, or we got to get in different groups?
No, when I'm saying groups, I'm talking about groups that other people have created where you're out getting to know prospects.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tricky for all of us to be in the same group because the whole point about online marketing is branding. You want to brand your leadership for your team.
Okay.
So then, you know, it gets really tricky because then it's like, oh, well, you know, I saw Travel Queen on there, but Travel Queen, like, but all y'all not on my team. You're on Joy team, and Joy is amazing. So it just get really, really tricky doing that. So what you guys can do is a prospecting group. A lot of people do that. Like I know B have a prospecting group. Natalie have a prospecting group. I just started doing that with the workshop.
Okay, so Lavonda, when you say a prospecting group, what does that mean?
That means you create your own group, and you can call it, you know, the Learn How to Become a Travel Agent group. You and all of your team members are inviting people into that group. And in that group, all you're doing is sharing the opportunity, information, and answering questions.
Okay.
We see you, Walter.
Vonda,
Yes.
can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you, Joy.
All right. I just want to say I really appreciate this because I was so lost in the whole thing that I didn't do anything really. You know, and this has actually empowered me. It makes sense in my head. I'm like, okay, step 1, 2, 3. This is what you're trying to accomplish. So I just appreciate you breaking everything down to the very basics.
Yeah.
So awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. That's the green in me. People know I'm red, but I'm actually very green. So it has to make logical sense. It has to, you know, be a process, because that's what creates the duplication. Being able to teach it is what duplicates.
Okay.
Lavonda?
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bishop.
Hey, this is Nate. I got on late. I was doing a travel party, and I don't want you to be redundant, but I was wondering, are there any things that we really need to pay attention to in terms of being compliant, like some definite don't do this?
Yes.
You know, things that the company's
definitely don't lead heavily with perks and benefits. As long as you're keeping that simple, you're good. So, you know, talk about the IntelliTrips, or when your team members are promoting, make sure they're not leading with agent rates. So one thing that helped that really helps us, we don't even have to talk about agent rates. We just talk about why it makes sense to own a travel business and how most people are already travel agents anyway. They're just on the wrong side of the transaction. So the more you connect with that, the having access to travel agent rates, that just makes sense. I mean, that's a given, right? You're in the industry, of course you're going to have access. And so through the process, you know, I was like really figuring out a whole bunch of stuff, working really closely with IntelliTravel. And what IntelliTravel likes is us educating people on what it is that we do and how we do it as a marketing perspective. Psychologically, people want to join someone they feel that can teach them something. So it actually works in our favor. If we're looking like the master educator, it attracts more people to us. So you'll see on your Facebook page, you can do like travel trivia. You can talk about some of your bucket list. I go to Google a lot for top travel articles just to see what other people are talking about in the travel industry. And I'll go back on my page and act like I'm the expert, you know, and paraphrase things on my own page. I'm just always creating that expert, because all y'all thought I was an expert, huh? I know.
Yeah.
Yep. We did.
You are expert.
You are expert.
Okay, do anybody have any more questions? I know Lavonda have a call in a few minutes to do. So do anybody have any more questions for her before we get off?
Yep. LT, can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? This is Jay Stu.
Yes, I can hear you, Jay.
Oh, listen, I gotta echo the sentiments of everybody. This has been absolutely earth-shattering. Just amazing, great information. I love what Joyce said. You broke it down, ABCs and 1, 2, 3, so we could pick it up. So I definitely appreciate it. I think it's going to just change everybody's business. Quick question for you: how do you organize your group? I know that you say you're pulling people from other groups, common interest groups, and things of that nature. And you mentioned, you see people welcoming people to the team. So is that, when you say your group, you mean you have all of your ITAs, all of your marketers, your bookers, everybody's in one group? That's what your team is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have everybody. Absolutely. It doesn't matter if they're a travel agent or only a rep only, or everybody's in the same group. Now, what idea I got from Latasha Alexander that was just genius is I created an exclusive travel agent group. And what that does is it holds people accountable. So the way that they get in that exclusive travel agent group is they must show me a screenshot that they've completed all 18 video modules, that they have their Clear card, that they have at least booked one travel package for a client. That could be a hotel and flight or a cruise, and that they have, what's the other one? Oh, completed 5 certifications of their choice. Now, in the exclusive travel group, all my top selling agents are in there, just really giving them a higher level access of travel. So it just makes them feel like, oh, there's an exclusive group. Well, what do I do to get in there? But what that ultimately does is keep them active and off of credit hole. So more people learning what they have is holding them accountable. They have access that other people don't have access to. And because I get a lot of exclusive invitation to fam trips and stuff like that, I tell them that I'm only posting it in those groups. And because of the Travel Queen, I get vacation requests every day, all day. So I post all of those travel leads in that group. So now it's giving people a reason to get into that group, because now I'm just handing them all of my travel leads by being there. You like that, Adaria?
Good stuff. She like that. Wow. Good stuff.
Awesome. Hey, I do know, Jay, are you finished? Because I know Cynthia Hampton texted me. She's actually trying to speak. I don't know, Lavonda, if you have the lines muted a certain way.
Yeah. Press *6 if you're on the line.
Okay, very good. I know she had a question.
Okay.
*6.
Yay!
Yeah.
You guys can hear me now. I'm part of the team. Well, I would just want to echo too and say thank you, Lavanya. I'm like Joy and everybody else. I was completely lost. As you can see, me and technology don't work well together. I couldn't even, figure the Zoom to see you guys. But I took a lot of notes, and this was really helpful for me because I too was totally lost. I just didn't understand the concept. When you say groups, like how do you become a part of a group that you find that you have interest in? I don't even know how to do that.
When you go to Facebook, at the top there's a search bar, and you can search married couples, and then it'll say people, pages, groups. Click on groups, and it'll give you a list of different groups that have married couples as their interest or focus. Also, when looking at those groups, it'll tell you how many people are in those groups. So I was showing Walter, like, you want to be in a group where there's like 10,000 plus people in the group, not hundreds or a couple thousand. The more the better, because you'll get more viewings, and you have more algorithms happening inside of the larger groups. So 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 members inside of that group. You'll click join. Most of the time they'll add you in there. Sometimes you'll have to be approved. Sometimes they'll ask questions, how long you've been married, how many kids you have, or, different things like that. You want to follow the rules, and they'll add you in the group.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I can show you if you have a hard time. I can walk you through that off after this training.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Miss Tiff, shut us down.
All right. Okay, Lavonda. Thank you so much.
The recording, how do we get the recording?
I'll send it to you guys. It'll take some time to how do you say it, to convert, and I'll send the link to all of you.
Okay.
Love you.
All right, Lavonda. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, Mama.
You're welcome. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Hey, Keith.
Keith, what's up, boy?
Thanks, LT.
Boy, you been working hard. I see
Okay.
you. Right here.
All right, guys. Y'all got y'all nuggets.
All right, let's do it.
Y'all know what to do.
Thank you guys so much for putting this together. We love Lavonda. She knows that already.
We love you too. See y'all.
All right.
Lavonda, let Walter and I know when you and Daryl ready to go to dinner. Okay.
Friday.
I'm coming.
After this April contest.
Yes. After the April contest, we got you. After the April contest.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
All right. Bye. Love y'all. Goodbye.